So, Ghost of Tsushima news, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games on PlayStation 5 launch, and Sony announces games lineup for their next event. And those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, yes or no, do you own a PlayStation Vita or not? Sony's last handheld launched over a decade ago, I believe, at this point, and people still play with it to this day. I still have mine as well, but what about you guys? So comment below, yes or no, if you have a PlayStation Vita or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, Ghost of Tsushima news. Reading from Nikkei Asia, Sony Group aims to make games into high-quality TV and cinema content to synergize intellectual property across the group and make the most of the company's highly skilled personnel and technological prowess. I'm genuinely looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima, said Asad Quizelbash, head of PlayStation Productions, a studio established by Sony Interactive Entertainment in 2019 to make film and TV adaptations of PlayStation games. With the release date yet to be announced, the film is based on the 2020 PlayStation game Ghost of Tsushima. The film will be directed by Chad Stahelski, director of the John Wick movies and an avid fan of the game himself. The artistry and choreography around the combat and the interactions is a key feature of the game that Quizelbash is excited about. Stahelski just wants to make it so cool that it reaches an audience who may not have heard about the game. So Asad is clearly hyped for this movie, but we still don't have a full cast. Filming hasn't begun. They do have a script though, and I believe at least one cast member, according to reports. Movies move faster than games when they're being developed, obviously, but I'm honestly wondering how long this movie is going to take to start filming. They want to get it right, so that's a good thing. Obviously, we want that. But the real hype is when they have their full cast and actually start filming the movie. I just hope this doesn't become an Uncharted movie situation where I believe that took like 10 years before it was actually made. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers.
Lord Sakai.
Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony announces games lineup for their next event. As mentioned before on the channel, China Joy 2024 will be going live this upcoming July 26th to the 29th, where Sony will be showing off China Hero Project titles, and Sony has now announced the full list of games set to be there. Reading from Gamatsu, Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced its lineup for China Joy 2024, which will run from July 26th to the 29th at Shanghai New International Expo Center in Shanghai, China. So this is the list. First up is the PlayStation China Hero Project, All Limit, Awaken Astro Blade, Valeria, Daba, Land of Water Scar, Evo Tinction, Exile Edge, and that's the list for PlayStation China Hero Project. Now moving over to Sony First Party, Astrobot, Helldivers 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and then moving over to third party, EA Sports FC 24, Elden Ring, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Gundam Breaker 4, Immortals, Phoenix Rising, Infinity Nikkei, Let's School, NBA 2K, Phantom Blade Zero, Rusty Rabbit, Strenova, Sword Art Online, Fractured Daydream, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Wuthering Waves. So the highlights for me here personally are Phantom Blade Zero, Astrobot, Convaleria, Daba, Land of the Water Scar, hopefully we see gameplay for that one, and Exile Edge. The one game that I've noticed is not on this list this year is Lost Soul Aside. I'm not sure what's going on with that game. That game was meant to release earlier this year, but now we haven't seen any updates for it outside of being informed that we will be getting updates for the game in the future. The game was at China Joy 2023, so it not being here is a surprise. Let's hope everything is fine over there and we get an update on that game soon. But you guys let me know if you're going to check out China Joy 2024 later this month or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, PS3 and PS Vita backwards compatibility. So For a while now, we've been discussing PS3 backwards compatibility on the PlayStation 5, the ability to play those classics on a modern console. It's been rumored and reported by multiple people in the industry at this point, with the last one being talked about heavily being from Special Nick, who now has heard from his sources that Sony is set on bringing select PlayStation 3 games to the PlayStation 5. Jeff Grubb went a step further at that point to say he actually expected PS3 emulation to launch earlier this year, but obviously that didn't happen, so it has to be in the near future, I would assume, at this point. But us getting PS2 emulation in June was a good sign for Sony's push to bring more classics to the PlayStation 5. Now, moving over to today's topic, Rithian is back again to discuss PS3 emulation, but not only that, he brings up PS Vita emulation and also mentions launch timeframes for those emulators. Sources, so this is what he says, sources, Sony Interactive Entertainment plans to update some PS Vita games exclusively in the backend to enable PSTV support for PS4 and PS5 backwards compatibility. So he's saying that Sony is pushing for PSTV games, which are PS Vita games that got updated to support normal controller gameplay. These games should start coming to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. He added on to this, saying this as a reply to somebody else. PS Minis are on the way, PSTV is in the works, aiming for late 2024, PS3 is in the works, aiming for late 2024, and PS Pocket is under review. So I haven't seen anyone mention late 2024 release for PS3 emulation. I personally was hoping that that would be the case because of Killzone's 20th anniversary. One thing I will say about Rithian recently is the guy was a bit iffy when it comes to PS3 emulation recently. Earlier this year, he said it was on halt and is probably a PlayStation 6 feature. A month later, when Special Nick says PS3 emulation is in the works, Rithian changed his tune a bit about PS3 emulation. Now, I will say he does mention there are issues with PS3 emulation, even when Special's Nick, his rumor was getting traction. He still said PS3 emulation has issues, but him boasting about how he said Sony is still working on PS3 emulation last year is weird to say when he was literally talking a couple of months ago about how it was on halt. I wanted to put a bit of shine on that for you guys, but I do hope PS3 emulation does come out later this year and Sony doesn't just give us Killzone 1 on PS2 emulation and streaming for Killzone 2 and 3 on PlayStation Plus and calls it a day. I hope that's not what we get. If they do have PS Vita emulation as well, that would be amazing because then the whole Killzone franchise would be playable on PlayStation 5. We already have Killzone Liberation for PSP. With PS Vita, we could get Killzone Mercenary. With PS2, we can get Killzone 1. And with PS3, we can get Killzone 2 and 3. And obviously, we already have Killzone Shadowfall on PlayStation 5. That would be insane to be able to play all of those games, but I'm going to tone down the excitement just a bit, actually more than just a bit, and I'm just going to wait and see what Sony does because we're just months away from the 20th anniversary of Killzone. But you guys let me know if you've ever played Killzone Mercenary on PS Vita or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with ready for the event. China Joy is later this month. There's several games on that list that I'm looking forward to personally. If you're excited about China Joy 2024, destroy the comment section with ready for the event, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.